Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea. Welcome to the World's Radio Show. It's Ham Radio Live. Got a special show today. I mean, this is a big one. If you watch this channel, this one's the bookmark. No kidding. I got a guy here that's normally in touch with Cuba and then was jammed by Cuba. He's got the whole story, plus the story of how ham radio saved his life on his trip from Cuba to the United States. This is one heck of a show. Thank you for coming from around the world. We appreciate you being here. Welcome to the Shack. Boy, I didn't think we'd get here. For a while, it was a little bit scary. Welcome. It's a Friday. We love Fridays, right? 23rd of July, 2021. Wherever you are around the world, you know we're here for a main purpose, right? To help you get in the ham radio. Well, before we get into that part, let's just tell you a couple of guests also coming. First, tomorrow, we're going to have Thomas Wagner, the guy who wrote the M1MM software and continues to update it. He'll show you how to use it, he'll show you how to do it, and he'll answer your questions. Join us tomorrow at 20 UTC for that. Also, on the 14th of August, this is Steve Deans. He is the owner of Alpha Antennas. He'll be talking about his new Hextana, as well as all kinds of Alpha Antennas answering your questions. But the main purpose here is to help you get into ham radio. That's the whole idea. If you'd like to get into ham radio, wherever you are in the world, you can contact any one of these radio organizations and they'll help you. First of all, the American Radio Relay League can be found at www.arrl.org. Just hit the Contact Us bar and they'll help you. If you're in UK, contact the Radio Society of Great Britain. They're found at www.rsgb.org. In our wonderful group there in Canada, they got some sterling people and they'll help you get licensed. Contact the Radio Amateurs of Canada at www.rac.ca. In Japan, the Japan Amateur Radio League is available at www.jarl.org. And for our mates down under, the Wireless Institute of Australia, www.wia.org. Just hit the Contact Us section on any of those pages, and they will help you get licensed. If you'd like to email the show, have a show idea, or maybe a suggestion or a question, contact me at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. And if you'd like to help support the channel in our mission to help reach others to teach ham radio and bring them into the hobby, you can hit me up at PayPal, proburbs356@me.com, or we have a Patreon page called Ham Radio Live. Like first welcome around the world, Joe McConaughey from Northwest Washington, actually kind of North Central, I guess, right, Joe? Alpha Golf 7 X-Ray Hotel, welcome to the show. My brother Bob, courtesy of WIFI downstairs. Bob, welcome. Daniel is here on vacation in Vermont. Welcome, Daniel. Good to see you as always. Thank you for coming. And here's our guest. This is Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. We are pleased as punch, happy as could be. You can imagine how excited I am to help you learn about Alex and his great story. This is going to be a fantastic show. We're honored to have him. We'll get him here in just a second. Before we do that, I want to tell you a couple of things that are very important. We always do the weather here. We tell you what's going on, and we also have news. We're going to cover that quickly, and we'll go right into Alex. First, current conditions. Well, they were a 79 over the weekend. Remember how bad they were? They were really anemic. Now today, an 84. Literally, we've jumped to an 84. K-index is running at 1, which is fantastic. Take a look at this K-index. I was thrilled to see it drop. See, from the 23rd all the way to now, K1, that's quiet and that's stable, even more popular. It's stable. So we like that because it's going to help our noise floors around the world right now. The MUFs around the world, currently Alaska 17.61, Boulder at 18.87, out of Venezuela, 18.96. First time we've had that report. It's pretty cool. 21.26 in Ascension Island. Now look at Athens. It's usually at the top of the heap, but it's low now, 13.96. Of course, it's the middle of the night there, so that's what's happening. Hermanus, South Africa, 8.02, and Darwin, Australia, at 7.47. Ham radio and forecast for today, including our shortwave friends, 20 meters and 17 for voice, data 30 through 2, E-skip, you should get it, 6, 4, and 2 in the Northern Hemisphere. Nighttime ham bands, 160, 80, 75, 60, 40, 30, And that's a 100% chance tonight of 20 meters open till approximately 1 a.m. your time. It'll be good. Get that DX, okay? Shortwave, 31, 25, 22, and 19 meters. On the nighttime shortwave, 120, 90, 75, 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22, and 19 meters till just past midnight. All right, let's get into the whole purpose of what we're about. Finally, someone acknowledged it. The ARRL printed this up yesterday in the news. Check this out. FCC investigating alleged jamming on 40 meters. There's no question it's jamming, and there's no question where it comes from. They say some reports suggest that the jamming stations have been deployed on the lower portion of 40 meters. Actually, that's kind of incorrect. It's really in the lower voice portion. So the extra portion and some of the general class portion of the voice has been jammed. And it's been going on now since a week ago Sunday. Also, you can see that this is quite extensive. Cuban Jamming today, 7.105, 7.124, 7.130, 7.139, 7.150, 7.156, 7.171, 7.180, and 72.15 megs. Your strongest two transmissions of jamming right now are at 7.150 and 7.215 out of Boca Raton. That's where most of this really high-powered jamming is coming from. Of course, it's coming from what's going on in Cuba. The people want freedom. They want more rights. They want action. They want help. And what's happened is absolutely stunning. Let me show you a quick little video, very short portion from the guest we're going to have on. And it's the reason we have him on, because he's not only from Cuba, but he was on the air with Cuba when this all happened. Meet Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform.
Okay guys, this is W7 Hotel United. In this moment I want to show you how the Cuban government is interfering and jamming the 40-meter band to prevent the Cuban people who listen, the people from the United States, people from the free country, telling them the news, because they cut off the internet in Cuba, and see how they're jamming the frequency. As you see there, all of these signals here are interference for the people. On this part of the band is when the band that the Cuban people used to, they making that interfering there to stop them to talk in between them and do updates. I'm going to show you how that sounds.
All right, now you can hear the jamming, and you can hear how frequently it is on the bands. This isn't just one frequency, this is multiples. It's been averaging 8 per night.
Another one.
Listen to this part.
That was the first frequency that we used. That was the first frequency that we used to talk on Sunday when we heard the news that the Cuban people went out to the street.
See, he was right there once the jamming began.
That's 140, which is also another frequency that we use.
So you can tell there are tons of bands, little frequencies I should say, that the Cuban government is jamming. That's the whole problem. And it's not a question of where it's coming from. We've triangulated this source of this. I've shown you day by day by day by day the actual source of where all this is coming from, and it's coming from the island of Cuba. Now, we have a guest coming in. His name is Alex, and his call sign is Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. Let me tell you a little about him. He's got a great YouTube channel, by the way. If you haven't already seen it, please subscribe to it. Take a look at it. Just search W7HU, and he will be right there to help you and learn about his past as well as what's going on with Cuba. It's a fascinating story. What Alex has done, I think, is heroic. He's doing his best to stay in touch with his friends, people he knows in Cuba. And by the way, it's not always political. In fact, very rarely does it ever get political, if at all. So Alex is one of the neatest people that I've ever been able to be blessed to have on this show. And I'm very, very grateful to have the opportunity to have him come on. So he's having a little problem, I think, right now with his camera, and we're going to get him on here in just one moment. He is truly one of the kindest people, and he'll tell you the story about how he came from Cuba. He'll tell you about how ham radio saved his life, and he'll also go into the story about Cuban Jamming and what happened. Let's first welcome some folks in that came by. Alex Alonso, hello to you. Welcome to the show. And Cliff Bolts out of Virginia, Whiskey Delta 4, Oscar Bravo Papa, welcome. Good to see you guys. All right, let's get to Alex, all the way from South Florida, and we're grateful to have him today. Alex, welcome to the show. It's truly an honor and privilege to have you, my friend. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Hello, Larry. How you doing? And welcome to everybody there who are watching the live stream and who will watch, because I know a lot of people will be on Team Replay. They will watch that later on.
That's right.
So, hello from Florida, from beautiful Miami, Florida.
How about that? I love the shirt, dude. That's an awesome shirt. I want one of those. Where'd you get that?
I got him on before this one. I think I got it in the local mall, but I have the merch that you have on YouTube, and I print the other ones on the merch store.
That's awesome.
That's a great
That's great.
thing.
Well, I love the shirt. Want to welcome Andy Cowley from the UK. Andy, welcome. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you as always.
Hey, Andy, my good friend Andy.
There you go. There you go. See, a lot of folks, I think, watch a lot of the same stuff. They just watch it on different channels. Alex, before we start, tell us about your trip from Cuba when you decided to try to come to America. It's a fascinating story.
Okay, well, we're not gonna tell the whole story here about the trip from Cuba, because we will take a couple hours, like 2 hours, to tell the story. But I will give you a review of how it works. Okay, I was in 2002. Yeah, hold on one second. Yeah, 2002. I was 22 years old, and I was planning with my friends to escape the island, and then they needed some sort of communication.
Wow.
And we planned with two ham radios and me. We planned the thing, and I took actually my FT 757. The 780.
Okay.
That means the FT 80, which is the commercial version of the FT 747, which is like the 757 radio.
Yep.
And we escaped in a raft. We were 22 days in the sea, 10 days no food, and 4 days drinking our own urine to survive.
10 days? My gosh.
No, we were 18 days right on the raft. After it was 22 days in total, and then 18 days, and then 10 days with no food, and 4 days with no water.
Oh my gosh.
So until we got rescued by a fisher boat, because I was using an FT-23R, and then I heard them talking, and then I called them. They listened to me, and then we got rescued by them. So in the second attempt was in 2005, and we escaped from the south part of Cuba again, and that time took us 13 days, 12 to 13 days. In the day 13 was when we got rescued, but in between that, we used to communicate with the 14300 net, the maritime net, in 20 meter, and then Whiskey 3ZU, he contacted the Coast Guard, and they called us, and we explained what we saw. We saw a boat would send us a pallet with food and water. And then they contacted that boat because it was a big tanker, a Marathon was the name.
Mm-hmm.
And they told the Coast Guard, our position. So they look at the currents, and they send the Mexican Coast Guard to rescue us. We got rescued by the Mexican Coast Guard, and we were 4 months in Mexico until we escaped out of immigration, because they wanted to send us back to Cuba.
Oh my.
So we walked 17 days from Veracruz until Brownsville, Texas, and we crossed the border to the U.S., and that's how I came here to the United States.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is a story for the ages. It really is. And then you also applied to become a U.S. citizen, right?
Yes. Of course, when I crossed the border, they give me the Cuban adjustment law, which is actually if you put your foot in America. Unfortunately, President Barack Obama wiped out that law. You don't have anymore the white food, dry food, which means that if you put your foot in America, you stay here legally, and then 1 year and 1 day after that, you are eligible to adjust your status by the Cuban adjustment law, which is a law, and it's still in place.
Wow.
But and then I became a resident first. 1 year and 1 day after that, I became a resident. Then 5 years after that, I became a U.S. citizen. And
Wow.
I've been here since 2005. So I think a couple
We're
years now, and having a great life this in this beautiful country.
we are truly honored and privileged. I mean that very much, Alex, to have you on today's show. What a treat. My goodness. Great story too. We got some people saying hi to you. First of all, the Smoking Ape. I love your channel, buddy. Keep it up, the good work there on your YouTube channel, Smoking Ape. Well done, man. Keep it up. Also, down in Australia, VK Radio Ham, welcome back. It's great to have you here from Australia. Greg Robinson, he says, tell Alex my Mercury Ills will be here in 2 weeks. Greg, Kilo Alpha
Wow.
7, Mike Delta Mike. There you go.
That's
Also,
great.
Andy Cowley from the UK wants to say hello to you. As you're getting literally hellos from the UK, from Australia, from the US and everything else. Don Bush is here. Donald, thank you so much for coming. His call sign, Whiskey Alpha 2, Tango Papa Uniform. Thank you for coming. Alex, tell us about what happened on Sunday the 11th. It literally, all of a sudden, the bands were open. Everything was going just fine. And then out of the blue, things just changed. They just changed. It was the morning of the 11th of July, and you were on 40 meters. Could you talk about what happened?
Okay, well, it actually wasn't in the morning. I listened to what happened in Cuba in the morning,
Mhm.
and then around 3 o'clock in the afternoon was when everything was wiped out, the internet and the cell phone. I called a couple of friends and family there. They didn't answer because there was no connection in the island. They restored the voice telephone after that, but the internet still on, but with restriction. They blocked all the social media, and the people have to use a VPN. So I heard that, I saw everything, and I got very excited and said, "Oh my God, my people are." They have a rebellion in there. They're looking for freedom. Actually, every single video that I saw, they were saying "Libertad, libertad, libertad," and "Patria y vida." So they were asking for freedom. That's
Yeah.
what they want. They want freedom. They want the change. And then I said, "Well, that's amazing." So the video starts coming in from there, and there was some report that they cut off the internet. And I said, "Well, let me go to all the social media."
There
I
you
went
go.
to the radio.
There you go.
I went to the radio, and when I went to the radio, of course, the band was open. It's always open in between Miami and Florida.
Okay, and Alex, do me a favor. Look straight ahead, because the camera that's straight there you are. That's the one that's picking you up. I want to. There you
Okay.
go. I want to see you face to face to tell this story, because this story,
Okay.
folks, is worth $1 million. You were there at what, 7.130 when all this hit?
Mhm. Yeah, hold on. I got him. Okay. And then what happened? I was in 71.30 and 71.30. And then a fellow friend, Whiskey Baker for Charlie Lima, which is Cubano Libre. That means free Cuban in Spanish. And we start talking and say, "Hey, do you hear what happened in Cuba? Man, this is what's going on. The people are protesting this and that." There were two brave guys from Cuba that went up to the frequency, say, "Yes, we want libertad, blah, blah, blah." And then another one who say that they're not agree with that. One who didn't identify, the other two identify. And so my live
Whoa.
stream,
Hold on. They had the courage to give their call signs?
yes,
Wow.
sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
That's
But
amazing.
but they're no longer on the air. They closed at least one of them from the eastern part of the island. They closed their station, and they told them they cannot touch a radio anymore. And I think what they told me, that's allegatory. That somebody told me that
Mhm.
that they have a police car in front of his home watching whatever he's doing.
Oh, no.
So hopefully they don't do anything against him. And if something happened to him, I will make responsible the government of Cuba. Okay. Because the only thing
Absolutely.
that he did was expressing something that he feel. That's it. He didn't kill nobody, and he didn't do anything other than expressing himself. Well, to go to the thing, we were talking for an hour. Then it came this guy, Charlie Oscar 2 Bravo Victoria. His name, I forgot his name. Everybody called him Bururu Barara. Um, and let me look him up
That's
on
okay. I
QRZ
got
because
you. I got you. You just
okay.
tell the story. I got you.
I think it's Reynaldo. Reynaldo. And this guy, he started defending the Cuban government. He's one of those what we call the big snitch or clarias.
Mm-hmm.
Radio Claria is how we call him. And this Reynaldo Bernot, he came and started offending us and jamming us in top of talking in top of us
Oh
and
boy.
saying that the revolution and Castro was good and blah blah blah.
Oh
And then
boy.
after that, he shut up. And then I have to take a shower. So I finished the live stream and I took a shower. And then I came back. When I came back, there was a jamming signal on it. Maybe he called the authorities say, hey, these people are there. Let's put the jamming.
Oh
Because
boy.
he used to work for the government of Cuba.
And that was that
So,
Whiskey 2 Oscar Victor, you said?
no. Charlie Oscar 2, Bravo Victoria.
Okay. All right. So he basically, you went and took a shower, and then he
No,
basically,
he started fighting with us and
right.
telling us that the revolution was great. Nothing happened in Cuba. It did happen.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, nothing has happened. Maybe nothing happened in front of his home, but the entire area was in the rebellion,
Nothing to see here.
Exactly.
That's
We
true.
call him the Radio Claria. Claria, we mean it's a fish that is nasty and stuff like that. And they call that like a snitch fish.
Sure.
So we call
Sure.
him Radio Claria.
Wow.
And then out of the sudden it came the jamming signal in 130, and then we said let's go to 170. We went to 170, and they start jamming 172. They say, well, it was impossible to talk, so we gave up.
Mm-hmm.
We went to bed, and the next day when we wake up, we saw the signal in 130 and 170. That was the first two signal. The next day,
Yep.
they didn't stop in that day. So we start talking on 140. Guess what?
They did it
They
again.
put another signal again
Yep.
in 140, and so on and so on. You saw there was 7.
Yep.
Now at this moment, this is my radio. That's the live feed of my radio. You looking at the radio now?
Hold on a second. I'll get you in there. Just a second. Give me a moment here. Okay. I'm going to do it right now.
That's the
Hang on.
screen. I changed camera.
Okay. I'm not getting your screen right now. So anyway, just go ahead and tell the story because we're fine on my end.
Okay. As you see here, we have 3 huge signals plus other ones. That means that either the propagation or they're being just turning off some frequency. Okay. The first one is here. Okay.
Yeah, we're not seeing any of that, Alex. I'm sorry, man. It's just not
You're not
coming
seeing-
through. No, not coming through.
Okay,
So just
hold
going to tell
on,
you,
hold-
I've got something that'll help you.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I got it. We're good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. You got it now?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is
So-
live right now from South Florida.
Yeah, this is live. This is live right now.
Perfect.
That is live.
Perfect. So that's where we're at 72, about 72.15. And that's what we've been talking about for days. It's right about 72.16. It starts right about 71 point, I think, what is it? 7.105 is the first one. And then they really hit hard about 71.50 and 71.80, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay,
those
you
two.
see, this is 71.15.
Yep.
Okay, 215.
Yep.
And then you see there is another one right here.
93. Yep.
93. And then you go down. There is another one that is a little bit, but this
That's
one
the
is
big one. Yep.
That's the big
71.57.
one.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's the big one.
55, 57,
Yep.
somewhere.
Yep.
And then another one on 115,
Yep.
which is one of the popular frequency for the Cuban people.
Yep.
So, but if you see all over the spectrum is noise because those have a huge wide range,
Yep.
and they wipe out all of the hold on, let me change cameras right here.
Well, they
and I know what
killed. They not only killed the people from Cuba getting out, but they killed propagation and communications throughout South Florida as well to other states and other areas. It just destroys 4 to 5 kilohertz of that bandwidth.
Exactly. So are you seeing my my
I
camera
got
now?
you.
Because
Yeah, I got
changed
you.
camera. Okay,
I got
good.
you. You're
Great.
good, brother. I got you, brother. Yeah, we're good. So
Okay.
what?
Well, and
So you
there
had
is
2
another-
frequencies first, right? You said there were 2. And then what happened after that? All of a sudden, more and more frequencies got added?
more
Is that
more
what happened?
frequency, and they didn't stop since Sunday. They've been, on and on since Sunday, and actually 2 days after that, I actually made the first video, the one that you saw.
Yeah.
That I actually was showing what's going on, and I knew was from them. Oh, right here.
There you
And
go.
I'm looking to the
Yeah,
camera.
I got
I'm
you.
looking
I got
to your
you.
face right there.
You're good. There we
But I
go.
got you. right there. Okay,
Yep,
hold on. Let
that's
me put
fine.
this.
No, hello, by the way, from the state of Texas, Kilo Delta 8, Fox, Quebec, Lima. Steve, thanks for being here, and a big hello to you, Alex. So a lot of folks are wishing you prayers and good wishes. So really, it started with 2 frequencies, and then all of a sudden, it just lit up, literally, from 7.105. And now, I mean, for the first 7 days, they didn't go over 7.2. Now they're up to 7.216, and they just continue to jam hard.
Yeah, the thing is, there is a group of Cuban people that have been there in 210. Everybody who watched 40 meter, they know at 8 o'clock at night, I never go there to that politics neck because I didn't want to talk politics. I'm a truly ham radio operator, and I don't want to go and discuss. Everybody know what's going on. They fight each other. The guy, Charlie Oscar 2, Bravo Victor, he's fighting with them all the time. And defending the revolution. The other one, I'm against the revolution, and I don't want to be. I'm a ham radio operator. I like to do the action and stuff, but in this case, this is a humanitarian situation, and I think I have to step up and tell the Cuban people what's going on and help and pray for them and spread the word, because unfortunately, the media here in the United States are not covering this it should be.
Amen.
So,
amen,
yes.
brother. You speaking to the choir here.
And
yeah,
then,
we're not seeing anything of that, and you're right, and it should be spoke about.
Exactly. And then we try to make this a special event station, Whiskey for Charlie, just to raise awareness. There is 2 guys that are being jamming us over the air on the special event. I know, unfortunately, they have or either they're communists or they're socialists that doesn't like the freedom. But anyway, we let them go. We keep continuing, and they are the ones that are actually illegally transmitting because they didn't identify themselves, and they're jamming some frequency that we only say QRZ, W4C, and special event station to raise awareness about the Cuban humanitarian situation. There is nothing. Plus, it doesn't matter if you talk politics over the air. It's not prohibited. Okay, it's not prohibited by the FCC. You can talk politics if you want. In fact, we are protected by the First Amendment. The thing is, the ARRL says that, ethical or you cannot talk about politics and religion because those are a very,
personal topics.
Very personal topic, and you can get discussion over the air. Right. But it's not prohibited. First, period. It's not prohibited. You can talk about politics.
Yep.
As long as you're not saying vote for Trump or vote for Biden or vote for this or vote for that. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you basically take part in nets that Cubans are part of on a daily basis, right?
I usually go to 40 meeting and call on 40 meeting and talk to many friends.
Yeah.
And I've been in ham radio since I was a child, so I know many friends. By period of time, at the beginning when I escaped in a raft, they were very shy to talk to me, but they're been talking. I think now that I'm not, the government is not happy with me. Actually, they won't talk to me anymore, at least over the air, because what I represent the opposition now.
Yes.
Just because I told the truth, and I try to encourage them to keep doing what they're doing. And of course, and I told them, don't talk to me. You can text me or you can WhatsApp me or whatever.
Yep.
There is always means of communication, even if they're blocked. People know how to go and put the BPM and squeeze into and send the information out.
Great comment here I want to share with you from Carlos Caldaza. He's Kilo Juliet 4, November Keen Alpha. Probably know this guy, I'm guessing. Hello, yes. Today they started to put interference in the Maria band on 2 meters because there's a fleet of boats that will be near Cuba today.
No, that's the Marine band.
Marine band. Okay.
You don't write it in the
I
Marine
got Marina
band
here. So there we go. All right. Thank you for that, Carlos. And, it's too bad because they're literally jumping any band that works short, literally in the South Florida. That's clear. It's pointed towards South Florida.
You know what he tried to tell you? There was a fleet of Cuban people from Miami and from other parts of Florida that they went to international water today to be close to Cuba and send flares and, pyrotechnic things to let the Cuban people that they are there to show the Cuban people in Havana that they are supporting them. They cannot go to the national water, but they will be right at the edge in the international water.
Isn't that
just
cool?
To prove, because when they start putting the the flares,
Yeah.
and the people in Cuba will see that because it's only 12, 13 miles away,
Sure,
and you
sure.
can see that at night, easy.
Yeah,
It's going to
yeah.
be a spectacle.
Carlos, thank you for being here. His call sign again is Kilo Juliet 4, November Queen Alpha. Carlos, it's an honor to have you on Ham Radio Live. Thank you for being here. Alex, you know what's going on there. Have you ever seen the protests get to be this harsh, meaning this strong before? I know the Cubans redid
No.
all their money system here at the beginning of the year. It changed everything, and everyone went into poverty. And so people are starving right now. Have you ever seen it this bad?
Well, I'm telling you, Cuba didn't win in the poverty when they cut off the money this year. They've been in poverty since 1960.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
I'm just saying it
to
got
clear
worse, right? It got much worse.
Just to clear that, I mean,
Yeah.
but I never seen in 62 years that the people went out. That's why I never talk politics. I tried not to involve and being related with politics because first I have a YouTube channel and I have a lot of friends and I don't want them to stop talking to me
Sure.
because the relationship. But this one was the only opportunity that the United States government has to make Cuba free.
Yeah.
Okay, to
Yeah.
make Cuba free. This is the opportunity that the Biden administration have to say, hey, wait a second, they're killing people, they're massacring people, they're taking the 12, 14 years old kids, and they say if you don't go there with a tonfa to hit the people on the street, you're gonna go to jail. They're taking everybody as they can. They're intimidating. They're flying the military planes. They're doing everything that they can. Even the president of Cuba we are in a war. We're going to repress the people. We're going to go and oppress the people because we're not going to give up. We're not giving the power up. And that's what they want. And,
Wow.
and this is the only one time that the people in the entire island went up the one day and they say, libertad, freedom, freedom. This is nothing about food. This is nothing about vaccine. They had three vaccine in Cuba, okay? Cuba is well known about having vaccine and stuff. They don't fighting for the vaccine. They're not fighting for food. They're not fighting for money. They're fighting for freedom.
Right.
That's what they're fighting for.
Right. Yeah. What I was saying about the money issue that started there, I think it was in December, was that when they changed the currency again, everyone became even more poor. And then poverty got even worse than it was. And, you can tell the Cuban people are oppressed. They're doing the best they can to try and stick it out. But they've just had enough now in huge numbers. Why do you think this is being blocked so much from our media right now, that no one's talking about this story?
Well, and I respect everybody, a point of view. And I think this administration is a little bit slightly to the left. And they don't want, the people to get involved in that because they want it to be cool. And
I'm with you. I believe.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
And I think, and we are in the United States of America. I don't like the president, and nothing is going to happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid to say that I don't like the president back in Cuba, but in America, I say I like Trump and I don't like Biden. That's not it.
But that's all right. That's
nothing is going to
Amendment.
happen to me.
Yep.
And of course, I don't talk about that over the air.
Yep.
But this is not over the air. We're here talking you and me, and it's live streaming on the YouTube.
Yep.
Yes. So I'm telling you, the Biden administration, I said the Obama because it's the same thing. The Biden administration, they have to step up.
Yep.
They have to pressure all the international organization if they don't want. But you know what? We're looking weak. People in the world are looking at us and they see the weakness of America.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that makes me worry,
Yep.
I think Biden administration have to step up and say, we're going to save you guys. We're going to send the Marines there and we're going to rescue Cuba. We're going to make Cuba great again. That's what they got to do. They got to make Cuba great again. Cuba was a great country. Before
it is a great country.
Power.
It still is a great country.
But now is one of the poorest country and the worst country to live,
Agree. But the heart of a country is what defines it in my mind. And I believe the heart right now of the Cuban people is definitely coming out. How long do you think this jamming is going to continue?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We have to ask that to Miguel Diaz-Canel, the president of Cuba.
Have we ever seen this extreme amount of jamming ever on the amateur bands?
Never. It's the first time that I see that in the ham radio bands.
Yep.
I mean,
Always seen it with
never
Radio
seen that.
Marti, right? Radio Marti.
Yeah,
always. Yeah.
Radio Marti, and many other stations from WQBA from Miami and La Poderosa and many others.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw the video of Kilo Zero Lima Whiskey Charlie, and he says that the FCC authorized this radio station in
to
Florida,
increase
especially
power
Miami,
at night.
to increase power at night.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly, because of that, and that is something good that the people don't know. Before I go, I know you gotta do more stuff. I wanted to, and this is the most common question of the people: why 40-meter band? Well, it's good. Propagation in 40-meter band is good to Cuba all the
Yes.
time between Miami and Cuba. And what is the most amount of Cuban
Yes.
exiles in Miami? And who they talk to? To the Cuban people. So that's why they jam in the 40-meter band. That was when everything started. So hopefully the FCC investigate this and they get involved and they find out that it is the Cuban government and they do something international with that. I can't do anything. The only thing that I can do is raise awareness of the situation and make the American people know about Cuba. And maybe they can write to their legislator and tell them, please pressure this administration to help the Cuban people. Or not even that. That'll be too much for us. The only thing that I'm asking,
I don't think that's too
everybody
much to
is-
ask. Alex, I don't think that's too much to ask at all. I think everyone that watches this show, whether now
Yeah.
on replay, should reach their congressman or their House member and say, look, something needs to be done to help these people. I think it's fine. It's absolutely real. That's right.
Yeah. And the only thing that I ask the people is hashtag SOS Cuba, hashtag SOS Cuba, and hashtag Internet for Cuba. You know what? The Cuban community in Miami and around the United States are willing to pay for the Internet, but the president has to step ahead and sign that petition and allow the American companies to put the free Internet via the balloons that they're going to do to Cuba. And we as a community will pay for it. I maybe don't put much, but I will put whatever I can, and everybody will put money. And there is many rich people that are Cuban that they're willing to pay for it.
Very
And
good.
we don't need to get the free money from the government. Okay, we need to get the authorization by the president to put internet to the people in Cuba. If
'Cause
they
they
don't
can't
want to
get
go
out.
there,
They
if
can't
they
get
don't
out.
want there to go with the military and help them, at least give them the tool to organize and fight.
Yep. Amen to that. Amen to that. No, I agree with you, brother. I do. I think you're 100% right. Alex, any final words here? We've got to scoot, but I love what you're saying. I 100% stand behind you with what you're saying about the political situation. I do. And I live in Oregon, and that's not the most conservative place. That's an understatement. But my point is, Alex, what you're doing, I think, is really brave. And I'll stand with you. Okay? As an internet brother, I'll stand with you. We'll stand and we'll do what we can. In the meantime, how can people help besides maybe reaching out to a congressperson or maybe they're a House member? Any other ways it can help?
Well, I don't know. Spreading the word. That's what I think. That's our tool. You know, we're ham radios. We actually help when it's a hurricane. We help when it's a disaster. I think this is a humanitarian disaster, and it needs to be, spread. It needs to get into the White House and put hashtag SOS.
So
That's
it's
the
Cuba.
only thing that I think it will be.
Yeah.
And then let the authorities that, we are. We are here and we are in need of the help of the president to sign that and give the internet to the Cuban. And the U.S. government don't have to pay for the Cuban community, and many people that have money, wealthy people, will pay for.
There you go.
So
That's good.
we don't need something from the government, from the taxpayer. We need just the authorization to send those companies and put those in place and help the Cuban people to spread the information. You know what? The biggest weapon that we have now in Cuba is the information. It's the internet. That's why Cuba came to that point, because they all have social media now. 10 years ago, that didn't happen because they was blocked.
Mhm.
So that's why when that happened, they cut off all the internet and all the media, because that's the weapon. That's the weapon that they use. They don't have all the weapon that the media.
And then they go
No.
back
So-
to old school tactics. I've just put up a view from Boca Raton from their SDR on the screen showing just the extent of the jamming. They go to any communications method they can to silence the voices of people getting out of Cuba. And that's what's happening.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you so much, Larry. I appreciate
Alex,
that you
my
actually
honor.
bring me here. And thank you to all of the guys there, Kevin and Andy Crowley and Carlos Calzada and all of the guys that I'm watching there on the YouTube. Thank you so much. It's been an honor for me being here. 73. Thank you.
That's great. We've been live with Alexander, I'm going to say it right, I hope. Valladares, is that right? Valladares?
Valladares. Yes.
Valladares. I said it wrong. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. The heart was
That's
right.
okay.
The heart was right.
That's okay.
Hey, brother, you take care of yourself. Be safe, all right? And thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
God bless you,
My pleasure.
Alex. See you, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
We were live there with Alex Valladares, so we'll just say it that way, from Cuba, from South Florida, I should say. Former Cuban immigrant. Here's a guy, excuse me, can't be a former Cuban immigrant, can you? He is a Cuban immigrant to the U.S. He got here, legally, did what he did, and that's his position. And this isn't allegedly coming from Cuba. It's been proven it's coming from Cuba. Just take a look at the community tab on this YouTube channel over the last week, and you'll see not only the frequencies, but the location of where everything's coming. I want to say hi to Pobut down in Eugene, Oregon. Welcome to the channel. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight to all of you. Thank you for coming wherever you may be in this world. Ham Radio Live exists to help not only get people on ham radio and get their license, but we also exist to try and help those in ham radio to be better and more successful at it. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate everything that you do. If you'd like to email the show, feel free. Reach me at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. If you'd like to help support the channel's mission of bringing people into ham radio and helping them get licensed, you can help us out on PayPal at proburbs356@me.com. Our customary way here to sign off the air is to sign off the air. We're broadcasters for the most part in ham radio. We love broadcasting. So we're going to do just a simple sign-off today. I hope you enjoy it. This one is from California. It's KHJ Los Angeles. Until next time, which is tomorrow, with Thomas Wagner, N1MM. He'll show you how to work the software. He'll explain how you can be a top-level contest logger. So I see you tomorrow. We'll be here at 20 UTC for Tom Wagner, N1MM, and he's going to knock it out of the park. Cannot wait for you guys to be a part of that show. Until then, God bless you, and goodbye, everybody.
At this time, KHJ-TV ends its broadcast day. KHJ-TV Los Angeles is owned and operated by RKO General Incorporated, with studios located at 5515 Melrose Avenue in Hollywood. Transmitter located atop Mount Wilson. KHJ-TV operates on Channel 9 by authority of the Federal Communications Commission in Washington, D.C. Throughout the broadcast day, some of the programs on Channel 9 are reproduced by means of film and videotape.
Something like this. Listen here. Oh, beautiful, far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties. cut. You see, my God, he done shed his grace on thee. You ought to love him for it, 'cause he crowned my good. He told me he would. Every brotherhood from sea to shine, shine sea. Oh, Lord, I thank you, Lord.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.